the Ninja speakers are back with a new, the last featured speaker. So,
The last one.
Harjit, the last one. Finally, this series will be will be on an end.
We only got so much room for featured speakers, so we just filled up the slots. So we got the last one, and he's an awesome guy. Welcome, Sergey.
Sergey, welcome. It's the last, but definitely not the least. Um,
Right.
yeah, welcome to Workplace Ninja Summit in Lucerne. First, who is Sergey?
So my typical introduction, I'm a security consultant and instructor as well. I speak at a conference, and Workplace Ninja is one of my favorite conferences to speak. So it is my pleasure to be there and to become also feature speaker. So probably it means I'm not that bad. And my sessions are not the worst session on the conference. And yeah, so when I deliver my sessions, I prefer to show live demos, and because that's what I like when I visit other sessions, and I prefer to give my participants like similar experience that show something that I like to see.
Okay. So that's a good segue there. So when you do your demos and stuff, are you showing how to configure security solutions, how to troubleshoot, or um, what do you normally um, do for your attendees?
Good question. So configuration itself, it is not something. I think it's so. The conferences is not for to show configurations, because we have a bunch of instructions on the Microsoft Learn. They just step by step, and it is not it's not something that I can really add to that, add any value to that. What I usually do, because I speak about security, quite often I see the idea to motivate motivate participants to implement security, because quite often they hear about the products, about all those XDRs, SIEM
Mhm.
system, and so forth, but they can't really prioritize what should they implement first, and then what should they do next, what should they implement, what should they not. And I prefer to show them how things can get how things can go bad and how it can get compromised, and so it will give them some motivation uh, to solve the problem. And of course, in my sessions, in the end, I show how to mitigate that as well. But most of my sessions, like I would say 60 to 70% of my session, is focused on the offensive part, and so how attackers can break the things.
Excellent.
Yeah, I know a conversation that we had last year, Sergey, about the security posture within companies at the moment. Um, I don't think much has changed, so we still need to educate the basics. Is that what we need to do still?
It's getting better. It is getting better over, because if I look back, like for the last like 5, 4 whatever years, I think that like things are getting better. I remember before WannaCry hit, like 7 years
Mhm.
ago, people didn't care about the security. I mean, most companies didn't care about security at all. Even like like regular users, they start thinking about security more. Even regular users, like end users. So, and it's getting better and better, but we still see many incidents. So because attackers also find other ways to be the defenders.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What is driving the push now to um, security implementations and doing zero trust and all that stuff? Is it the spike in ransomware and where data is compromised and companies go basically down to their knees and can't function?
All of that.
All of them.
Because
Hmm.
company that got ransomware and had very big data loss, those companies will be the best security implementers. I remember I worked with like different companies, and for maybe not for years, but for a long time, I tried to convince them like, hey, implement security stuff, and they say, yeah, we are okay, thank you. But then they had problems, and after that they called me and say, can we continue our conversation? because
Right.
that's the motivation. That's really that's very powerful motivation. But unfortunately, it's too late. So yeah, it is better if company start to implement security before, and that's one of the reasons why I deliver my sessions to convince them that they should do it before. But the different reasons: ransomware, one of them, but also compliance.
Mhm.
Because you like it or not, but you have to be compliant with different regulations if you work in this market, in this country, in this industry.
Okay. And so, speaking of the conference, you're going to do some sessions. Obviously, very security focused because you're one of our, security experts, and I've seen you at many other conferences, right? And you dive pretty deep. What are your takeaways that you want your attendees to take away, or from what you're going to deliver there?
That's a good question about takeaways. Because there are many things I would like them to think after the session. And the first one is, like I mentioned before, they really need to think about that security is really important and something that they really need to implement. Because quite often, if you ask someone, like ask anyone, is privilege of least principle of least privilege is important, and everyone will tell you, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
it is super important. But when you make an audit, and you will find so many violations of this principle. So I really want participants first try to implement things. So start to really make changes, because that it might be too late after they get some ransomware or some attacks, and then they may get some data loss and other problems. So that's the first thing. Second, what the takeaways from security sessions: find out the new methods, find out the new methods that attackers can do, and so then find new protection, something they didn't think about, because during my session, I show that, and really they may take some specific techniques and something, some places where they can find the trace of attackers that they didn't think about.
And
So
I'm sure you
first,
bring
yeah.
a lot of real world experiences and stuff like that. That not that you're disclosing, who it is and what it is, but you're bringing like, hey, I'm telling you this because this has happened to a company or an organization, and this is what happened, and this is how we took care of it, right? Or whatever. So
Exactly.
cool.
So last year, last question from my side, Sergey. Last year you were in Switzerland as well. Are there any places you have seen probably somewhere, somewhat from the from the neighborhood where we are? Is there something you like from Switzerland, and where you're really looking forward to it?
Last year we were in a different place,
Yeah.
but we're
Definitely.
going back to Lucerne.
Yeah.
Lucerne.
Yeah.
This was a really nice place, a very beautiful place. So really want to go there, go back again, and like make maybe another boat tour. And so yeah, so
Yeah.
Switzerland is nice.
Let's do that. Let's take in for a boat tour in the evening. I think we try to arrange that, but let's
That's
see
awesome.
let's see if that can happen. Yeah. So I think we know enough. Looking forward to your sessions at Workplace Ninja in September. If there's nice weather, nice sessions, good sessions, nice conversations, and we'll probably have you again in some podcast recordings that we will do at the venue as well. So let's make that
Deal.
appointment.
All
And
right.
then,
Great
thank
to
you.
have you, and looking forward to seeing you. And
Nice to see you.
all right.
And yeah, see you again in September.
Cheers, everybody.
Bye bye.